Good morning, folks. It's I'm going to change the title of this um, by the amount of days. That's why I said in and around. It's 10:17 in the morning on the 21st day, first month, 2023, and this is a very difficult one of these forecasts to tell you all. I was right. I seen all the conditions that were going to lead up to this geoengineered tropical storm, and it's going to be a very high-end tropical storm. But I don't see how the winds are going to get high enough to make this a tropical cyclone, which is good news, right? The wind's coming ashore here on this day on most all the plans, excuse me. So around, when I'm saying around 10 days, because the EMF's going to decide something here. So I'm going to probably say it to a week, because last night it was 11 days. As it comes ashore on the 28th here, it could stall a little bit. And coming in at 72 kilometers an hour is not hurricane strength. I'm very familiar with it in miles an hour, so I can judge this a bit better for y'all. 45 miles an hour is like if you was having a gale, that would be the highest nearly you could get before it becomes a different category. And at 46 miles an hour, it's still 30, 26 miles an hour or so short of being a tropical cyclone itself. Though the winds are moving cyclonically. The high cyclonic, doesn't that look like it? The eye of Sauron. This is going to be a deadly storm. You'll have to know your tides along this coastline as this comes ashore. And you'll have to be prepared for the sudden wind change when it passes. So things that were leaning one way start going the other, and that's when you have your problems. If you've got greenhouses you could protect the roof somehow with something from hailstones, you might want to consider this. Bottle yourself some good water. You're going to need this. This event is going to take a path through here that's going to give a flooding event of a terrible proportion. You're getting the Fitzroy treatment. That's the only way I know how to put it. And the geoengineers are crossing over your country in a very predictable arc. And this could go north and south depending on the beams. So right now, I have to issue a terrible warning, and a lot of this is still to come ashore by the end of that day here. And the tens are just looks terrible. A lot of this has already got runoff up here, but down here is fairly dry. So this is going to run. And the soils are hard down to a depth of about a meter. I had a good look at that yesterday. And it's a very important statistic to know. And this also says how they're going to move it in. It tells you they're going to use EMF to make a wall here that it can't go beyond, and everything here blunts out. This is going to be a hell of a geoengineering event, and the radar out here is going to own the show. Yeah, well, Perth, they'll start shutting it off, can do a big circle beam. We've seen this before. I know Geraldton can. You're going to, at least you get some water in your gardens coming up. That's going to be just really spin off as this does some spits. As this comes behind the radars, it's going to wet the coast air. But these have to be on to bring this ashore. Those have to be really full on. And this is a ways away. What I mean by full on is if it's going on right now, I'll be able to see it. And so will you. Thank you, Bureau of Morons. It's difficult to detect in this image. But you got a beam curve here. That's one EMF wall. But the move is going to happen through here. Right, this corridor. Right in through here. So this radar here has to be half on and full on that direction. Like you'll see a weird pulse. And that's actually beam in this direction. Getting fried, Western style. Put some people in the microwave while we have the shrimp on the Barbie. You see it right here? Come on. So they've created a heated wall here that's just sustaining a storm line. And it'll be assisted by some devices out here beaming in this direction. And something here is in an arc coming up this way. You got one coming down this direction. So the wall up here is still in place. The only corridor stuff can come into the country now is here. Everything coming off the Indian Ocean, the path of least resistance is here. So the first tendrils will pull into here. And they'll follow themselves. Like a little line of water you put down on a sidewalk. The drips will tend to follow it. A little blast of something and come and go out there. Isn't that interesting? Do you have a ship out here? Most likely. So that's what I mean by they'll put a heated wall up. So you're going to have certain ons and offs to make this happen. And that's when we get closer to the event. I'll be able to do the predicted glitch. Ding dong, predicted glitching's head. We need to hit the glitching in the head. Open your eyes. Look up to the skies. Get away from the disguised. And look at this here. Streaming from the tropics over Australia. An international attack upon all beings and creatures underneath the sun and in the water of these beautiful nations. It looks so nice and green right now, but it's only green because somebody made some green. After flooding you poor folks out there, making a new bridge, and oh boy, the gravel pit's gonna make a ton. Mr. Slate is grinning while you're sliding down the Dino at night, punching out. Or maybe they got robots to do that now. I don't know. I see a lot of things coming. Those are going to be some really smart roads with some dumbass people on it. Or maybe there's still dumb roads with dumb people on them who are dumb enough not to see that they've been owned and pwned and sold, and that there's a geostorm that's allowed to be made today. Even this passage through here shows you that flow's been made. They just put some bombs off over here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. They'll flag me if I don't do a little something different on that. Yeah, they don't like me singing Sandman. The Kemba Man stealing your dreams. I have to change it. They do me for that one, actually. It's not allowed in 57 countries. But, you know, it's allowed in yours. It's a Kembamination over cunnilingus. The timber creepies is now getting moist. It's going to be a really moist, stumpy stump that day. Man, I had a crack up with you today. Sorry. Yeah, I made a theme song for my friend Stumpy. Yes. No, I'm not. Jesus Christ. And if you don't like that, get over your religious contract, spit out that blue pill. Boom! Look at that going the wrong way. Everything's going north, and one says, hello, I'll come see you over here. And I'll boom boom this way and leave a tendril of cloud. And somebody's going to say, that's not happening. It's so funny sometimes. People think that what's happening, that what isn't happening is happening, and what happened it isn't. This is such a flipped up, dumbed down world. There's no such thing as a smart road if a dumbass is on it or designed it. But if somebody really smart wanted to control you on it, it's a very smart road for someone. It's a long, long road, and the future is mine to claim, do-do-do, while these chem bombs falling now over Teffer Town. Oh no, it's time for the Wesley Webbits to knock 'em flat. Because they're trying to catch them a rabbit, and they're going to cut its tail off. And they can say when it's rabbit season. They can say when it's duck season, but they don't tell you when it's time to duck in time. But they'll always say, we told you to duck. 2 days before it comes ashore, yeah, we're pretty sure. You might want to get ready for this. Nah, you get ready for it now. Rob D says you're fucked. Get ready along this lines. You are fucked. You're really, really fucked. If you have to make a trip across a known road here, you better get on these webcams. Get on your traffic cams and contact your locals. Get on them CBs and say, what's the conditions like, good buddy? I used to remember all the names. Yeah. What's your 40, all this shit. Remember all that shit? Boy, they got us really talking to each other and telling us what we were doing then. They was spying on us with Midland. You ever thought about that? And they got rid of the analog because they want us to talk on digital. It's easier to record. You don't have to put it through an AD converter. Do you think you're getting a lot of rain? That's a lot of rain, man. You want USA people, you want to see this in inches? Things that make you go, ooh, the big 8 inches from our oppressors dangling in with more ashore. So expect these totals to rise. When I get to about here, on 3 days from now, you'll know your exact totals in that swath. Exactly what it's going to do. Because anything that rains now is going to get included in that stat. So you'll have to subtract. You got to do a lot of math with the figures. So you're going to take 1.5 inches off just from that to that. But then you're going to add inches. You had 4 fucking inches of rain. I think you're wrong. I think you're right. I'm telling you. You won't get a foot of rain through here. It's going to be every bit of a foot to a foot and a half. Because there's more tendril to come. And all they got to do with this is start feeding that in. As this comes across the land, right, it's going to be rotating like this. It's going to be gathering. All this is going to gather, right, which is also going to kick back up into here. So most of your rains that you're going to see on some of these totals out here is going to come in with this tropical storm. And it's going to be kicked up coming in that direction from the flow itself. If the EMF gives that pinned, and I put this wall here, that could stall. And I can have a long sustained rain event until all of that falls. I'm very, very worried about Australia right now. Now I'm going to go to the other coast. At Tassie, you get some fairly high summertime rains coming to hit your mountain areas. So you're going to have to watch for your flash floods suddenly. And I'll keep you informed on the day, right? Because today, enjoy the sunshine that you're getting. Well, it's going to be a bit hazed over because it has been decided to steal your sunshine and kill your dreams. The EMF blasts in your ears, it makes you scream. You'll never know, dear the blue sky, how much I love you. Please don't let them take our sunshine away. Away, they're taking your sunshine away in Melbourne Corner. They're toxifying Bass Strait, the bastards do. Chem bombs. They're going over you in northern rivers with toxic mix. Don't breathe deep. Close your fucking windows tonight. You're going to get a lightning show tonight. You fucking will. The way this is sliding in, look at the bombs off the coast. The geometric formations here off Brisbane, Cape Byron. I'll let that clarify. Let me see if we're running. That's funny, Monica. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, you're not allowed to use a megaphone anywhere. That's why you got to learn to use your voice like me. Lightning Ridge, gonna get some lightning big tonight. Tonight's the night. The night Neil Young played Tonight's the night in England because people bitched about something. And then he came back on stage for the encore and said, okay, I'm going to now play something you've already heard. And everybody's like, yeah, he's going to play greatest hits. And he played the same song again. I fucking love that. Yeah, what a shame we lost one of the big 4 activists from back in the days. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young were big activist leaders of the counterculture movement. And I've redone a few of their songs. And one of the most beautiful one I still find great comfort in is Turn, Turn, Turn. And every hardship we get is just a season to be lived and remembered. It's just another ring in the sapling that grew from your childhood. And the core of that sapling is always there. It's always flexible. It's always joyful in the innocent air. Where you didn't worry about, my days it was going off into Vietnam and having to duck and cover under the desks from the threats of nuclear war and things. They had us do this to make us fear war itself instead of enjoying the fact it wasn't there. And then going and seeking out the use of such weapons for the profit machine. Now, these are your 10 days. I just wanted to see. They're pretty much your events coming over the next 3 days. Fuck. Nah. You're getting 2 blasts, folks. I think you're getting long sustained events that's going to have trigger storms. When I see the tendril like this and the open end is poured here, and I'll see an EMF gap, that means you get a flow off the coast that stops. So this is from the north coming in, and all this will be southern flow. And that's a dangerous tendril sitting off the coast there. Yeah, you got a half a foot of water sitting over here to be aimed or moved in at will through various layers of the atmosphere, as can be done with EMF, electromagnetic perturbation, and explosions themselves, and the predictable movement of jet plane even through a cloud can be tracked as part of weather manipulation. So some cloud decks can form strange clouds when jets go through them. But very often we see that where there was no jet path, unless Wonder Woman's invisible plane is up there, and I think we all need her golden lasso right now. Just put it around the whole planet. Let's just honestly talk about the shape of the planet. This planet is in dire shape. I God, are they killing us? I could show you the last picture of the world it was taken. It should be this day here. This isn't a deep blue marble anymore. This is a whitewash. It's a whitewashed world, and all the excuses we get now from why is a bunch of whitewash from this big square here over Texas to these geostorms over here in Europe. Loaded with chem yesterday. Lots of sand manipulation from out here going on. So a day ago I was watching the EMF corridors that create the sandstorms. Yeah, you have to create them and aim them. So it's clearer here today, but they put down chem to hold it and started whipping sand because the clarity goes, right? And in that day there, the storm is whipping, and you can see the EMF down here over the sand pit. There's two big sand pits right here. This one here is a mountain ridge to ride stuff. This is the main pit, right, that comes out. You see those stripes? Yeah, it'll be deposits of sand and dunes and stuff. And as the visibility goes away, you know that in one of the driest places in the earth, they're having a sandstorm. But I see the clouds that are fueling the winds right here, and the bombs themselves that are making the storms over the desert, right? Look at the shadows. Look at the formations. They look exactly like the stuff I show you in Australia all the time. The sickness mixes over these sands. Here's your signature right there. Here's your 3 6s. Can I be any more plain? Is it any more plain in your face? Yeah, I know that's a vortex. But I also know symbology, which is undeniable. Yeah, that goes in my collection. So they use this sand as free chem particulates. And the stuff that fell out on it there is on top of the sand. So I don't have a current image of that yet today. Last thing I have is here over Turkey. And you can see the EMF perturbations in a bomb over here. I believe this is the part of the Black Sea. This is the Crimea. And Ukraine and all that. And you can see the EMF and all that being used over them. It can be used for military cloud cover as well. There's something's out here, a ship. Well, maybe I have a aircraft carrier or something. Everything's pointing at it. Which is kind of stupid of them telling their position. Stealth planes are very careful about leaving trails of any kind. Skull and crossbones in the sky. That air must not be good for you. Yeah, go back to it's the whole world has been shit smeared. And it's a real shame. It really, really is. You were well sprayed here. So I've given you your warning. I don't have a whole lot of time today because I have some very important things also to do that affects all of us. So I'm gonna run. The loop. I'm gonna turn off some of the dramatics because this is your ease, doesn't it? And so let's not do that. Just look at the pop-ups. The cells across New South Wales, I'll have a good chem bomb look at because that's going to affect you tonight. And I'll go on your radar because there was one storm last night. I nearly went live at 2 a.m. To show you. So here comes the pop-ups, but the corridor of heat, remember, is here. Right on the coast. So everything has to come in here. All that tropic moisture. They don't want to waste what's here. They'll bring that in when they want it. They want that circulation to keep going. That they can then intensify. And then it meets a certain flow, it'll spin it quicker. Spin that top. It's just like having one of those merry-go-rounds with the kids on it. You grab one of them bars and give it a little lick each time around. You can get those things going quite fast. Orbital dynamics. Spinning objects. It's just basic flat plane math, isn't it? I hated math, but my calculator loved it. Hey, whatever tools it takes to do the job, sometimes it's nice to have. You'll have some storms coming through here in about 36 hours during the day, impacting and popping up over Adelaide. So we'll be looking for the chem tomorrow to deploy on that. Here you go. Oh, would you look at that coming over New South Wales here, crossing the border and into Vic. Vic. Victoria's fucked. Dan! Jesus Christ, you didn't elect him. If that doesn't show you the elections are fixed and don't matter anymore, nothing ever will. The Biden one didn't wake you up. Nothing ever will. That was a strange turn of flow. Like everything went offshore, and then suddenly, whammo, have a new flow. All right, this is when things are about to get interesting. This is when the pressure is going to start playing wild things. This is when your bubble up is south into the cold, but you got a side pull, and it always forms a spinner. Always. It'll spit. It has to. These are going to be connecting hard. 23s on a 27. All the pull is to this side. All the tug from that is this way. So when this elongates, it's when this is pulling back. And it'll leave a gap each time for the low to connect with this one diving south. I'm telling you, it's complicated. You have to have one come through here sometimes to do the dynamics. This is spinning this direction. This is spinning this direction. This is spinning this direction. What's going to speed up and come where? This is a flow straight over Bass Strait. Straight fucking over it. If the winds are running north, I'll tell you it is. Winds are running south. When things come through here, they spin this direction. Just a small low. So another low will feed this low down south, and the second one will boop off right there. Has to. It's how pressure works. This is in the process of doing a spit and making a storm out here. Yeah, that's a spit. That's when these are oscillating toward each other. These are all in motion, flowing towards certain numbers. It's all beautiful suction pressure, man. God, the suction is cool. But the motherfucking suction sucks, man. It's dysfunctional, suctional fucking shit, man. And it sunk all your crap. Evidently, one of the newspaper picture occurred. It said they should have brought a boat that day. Is one of my followers. And my God, you know what I had to say? You didn't listen, did you? Protect those cars. You know, you can put your car on blocks to keep water off the wheels. And in some places, it might not float away. Tie it off, put it on blocks, and have a nice day. Oh, that's coming on hard, man. That's fierce amount of water. That is some totals. 2.74 inches every 3 hours as this passes. That is a deadly storm. Almost 7 centimeters an hour hitting this road here. Every 3 hours. That's over 2 centimeters an hour along this road. Don't get caught here. Don't get caught on Highway 1. Don't get caught here along these roads without a way out. I'd say that moment here is going to be a remembered moment. And when people say, remember that one? And the waters are going to come this way toward these towns. These towns are going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Down here, Marble Bar, you're gonna have some problems. Where does this meet? Who's here? A lot of rumbly bits to bring water down onto the flats. Well, you're gonna have a big lake. I don't know your key crossings here. I really don't. But the corridor of being done is from here to here. Okay? Your sweat. I'm not worried about you here. I'm worried about you here on this day. I'll worry about you guys a day later while they're swelling your streams now. Here comes what kills the dreams. As she comes in and it pops up and their moistures combine. Wow. Still inland. Still dropping that total. Still dropping the 2 centimeter an hour as she comes in land. When they normally would lose strength as they came over land, the sustaining of a storm is you could simulate tropical water conditions in the storm layers itself. Come a long way with the science. As 8 centimeters every 3 hours falls, you're looking at 2.5 centimeters an hour. That is, don't get caught out in the dry gulches. React now. If you got stuff you want to protect to get up higher, you know where your floodplains are. Okay, please. Change your travel plans if you must. Come on, folks. Stay alive. Keep those vehicles alive. This is going to be a killer storm. I'm going to change my number to 7 days. Alright, I miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm changing the title of this video. So before I post it, I will. Whew, this is deadly. Alright, I've changed that. I told you when I started the video I was going to do a determining. You got time. I have warned of this already. Yeah, jump the gun, Higgins. Have you told people about this yet? And if you haven't, fucking shame on you. You're a thief. You take people's money and you know ahead of time, but you gotta wait until you're allowed to do something. I will shout, wolf, if I see the peck on the horizon, just so you're aware it's there. And when it's in the garden, I'll come down wearing one and tell you your flock's okay, or you could listen to me screaming in the hills. Folks, I'm screaming in the hills right now. I see the wolf on the horizon, and there's a pack of them, and they're coming your way, and it's going to be a very, very bad situation out there. And I said I wanted to have a look at the chem here. So I'm going to throw some cities on. This is accurate as of the last frames on this was 2 hours ago, so I'm not satisfied with that. So let me reload. Now I don't put the lightning stats on. I can tell by the flow of what the lightning conditions are going to be. And I warned you about one over here, so I'm going to have a really good look at this. This might take a few seconds to load. If you find my work of value and you wish to support it, you may do so at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. Or give me a message and say, hey, I appreciate you. That's great support. Support ain't always financial that matters. The will to survive and go on is probably the most important thing. Very slow coming. But I've shown you yours. I'm coming here now. Because they're the ones that are getting the storms today. So, as I'm watching these bomb percussion rings go out that are not gravity waves, yeah, it'll clear up nicely for me. Do. With chem bomb blood on their hands. Everything's flowing here, but it's one. It's just saying hi. Boom, boom. And north. Proceeding. Would you say there's a cut move going on? Doesn't always have to be EMF. A percussion explosion can do an EMF, do a cut quicker than an EMF can. And it doesn't waste the moisture as much. It drives it all together. Now, these are percussion rings, and where they just met there, that had to make a storm. Right there in the ash crack where they meet, boom, it makes storm. It did one little fart at the end, didn't it? Hi, I got a little bit of gas, one more. And he sharted it out. Shardy skies before your eyes, boom. The farts are coming out. That was like 3 explosions there. You see all the wakes they leave, man? This is, come on, you guys that use explosives out west, you gotta know what that is. It's a percussion ring. You see it go across the ground. Every quarry you blasting a wall off of. Yeah, that little cloud that goes along the ground. That curve. Here's another explosion. Here, I'm going to go forward this time. Boom, boom, boom. Percussion ring. Here's another one. Percussion ring. Force and flows with explosions. This is a new method. And it's efficient. It's very efficient. Shower of death. See, well, boom. From the center to the center to the center, you got the Gates logo. Boom. Big old Happy New Year there, huh? Happy New Year. Boom. Have some more. Have it. You're being hoed, Ivan. You're being hoed. You're Mengeleid over here, man. They're testing you. They're testing our patience. They mistake kindness for weakness. And that's always a big, big mistake. That's where you find out. Because you have fucked around. But you know what? We're finding out because they're fucking around right now. And if we don't unfuck this shit, they're going to keep doing the fuck around. And we're always going to be the one that finds out why they do. And there's the big bell end right there with the big fucking penis strapped to the banjo string. Shoots off. Ejaculating a payload into the sky. Into the skies. Do. The bell end. Hey, Higgins, drink this. Be honest and tell those people out west what's coming. Come on, Higgins. Please, I deplore you. You're deplorable if you don't. Open your site up and tell these people what's going on with the geoengineering. Save the lives of the creatures in that zoo over there near you. Or you're just going to be eating sausages, sucking back cheese, and telling people to go away after you take their $50 and steal my fucking updates. Well, I know I'm going to be out of town this weekend, and I might not have a signal. So you're on your own this weekend. But I guarantee you I will leave you with the words, my forecast will be accurate. And you'll be on your own. Yeah, I'm going to do a little tour. I've been invited to a couple people's houses for a long time. Yeah, got a lot of activists I work with. I want my banner signed. It's going to fulfill me to see some more signatures because I almost took it off my wall. I figured there's so few of us that would even stand with me to hold that because I get so trashed by people anymore. That why? I'll mail it to the United Nations. It says, here's our petition from everywhere around the world I went saying, we do not consent. And I've done my job. I wanted to give it to them in person in the UN, but I don't have 100,000 plus signatures to even get on the docket. For the 2 days a year, the people of the world, if they have the right sponsorship, are allowed to speak before the General Assembly. How Greta Thunberg cut that line is because she was saying what was wanted and had the corporate sponsorship. Well, meanwhile, I look at this pay attention flag in the sky like you would wear to bring attention to a cause. I see Mother Earth herself asking for help and pay attention that chem bombs suck and that they're real and they're about to fuck up a lot of people's stuff. And this is just breaking my heart. I'm sorry. I've got to click on. Big love, people. Do stay safe. Peace.